Hey there. I don't upload to YouTube much. I've uploaded a bit over the years, and it's what it is. But I've been seeing a lot of things lately about a so-called crisis in masculinity. Essentially, a lot of these figures, mostly on the right-wing conservative side, I want to say, are concerned that men are becoming too soft, too feminine. Now, this is nothing entirely new. Concerns like this have been voiced for quite some time by the people who are championing this. But it really seems to have picked up to fever pitch in the last few years, I want to say, particularly since 2016. And to be fair, on one hand, they may have a point. On one hand. Now, let me finish before you fucking crucify me in the comments. On one hand, they may have a point in the sense that traditionally male aspects, like things that are traditionally associated with men, aren't as common anymore. This isn't a bad thing, however. As history has shown us, what is considered masculine and male tends to change through the generations. A good example would be pink used to be seen as a male color because it was bright and bold. Meanwhile, blue was seen as a feminine color because it was nice and soft. If you want to go back even further in antiquity, look at what the Romans considered masculine, for example, or the ancient Greeks. Many of it wholly differed from what we consider masculine today. A good example would be the ancient Spartans considered long hair quite masculine versus, say, nowadays or the last couple decades, not so much, right? So it's not that men are becoming softer or weaker. It is quite simply put that, well, masculinity is changing, as it always has, as it always will, as long as there is people around, and as long as there is men around. And I think true with the more progressive stance towards transgenderism nowadays, that will continue as such, because you get people who have transitioned to men, and they're bringing a new experience towards it, I think would be the most appropriate way to say it. So what does this mean for the future of masculinity? Well, it'll change. If anyone's ever seen the 1996 movie Trainspotting, there's a line in that movie that, while I don't think it will be accurate, would be quite humorous if it was, and that is, 1,000 years from now, there won't be men or women. They'll just be douchebags. But quite simply put, the crisis of masculinity is plain and simple just older people or young people who subscribe to older values concerned that their values aren't applying anymore. That's it. And this isn't a widespread thing either. It is still very much societal blip, so to speak. Your average cisgender man, while he has some more modern interests, still probably has many of the masculine traits of previous generations. Change is a slow process. It starts small, and then it grows. But that doesn't always happen either. There have been many times where people have proposed a general sweeping change in something that would be the end of it as we know it, so to speak, and it fizzled out. Maybe it stayed alive in subcultures and the fringes of societies, but never to the degree people thought it would. So simply put, no, there isn't a crisis in masculinity. It is just changing, as it always has, as it always will. And there's nothing really that we can do about it. It is what it is. And to all the people freaking out over this, go outside, touch some grass, talk to a real person, because evidently you don't do that much, or you've never left your tiny ass hometown. Seriously, go experience more of the world. It will open your eyes to so many things. Just go to another province, or if you're American, go to another state. Go to a big city. Anywho, this was just a little rant on my part, because frankly, I'm fucking sick of hearing about all this. Till then,